As proven by Shane Black's The Predator, it's not so easy to make a movie about everyone's favorite alien hunter. Add in the difficulty of a certain pandemic, and you've got the makings for a nightmare. Yet somehow Dan Trachtenberg was able to pull it off with a film set in the 18th century, putting up a young Comanche girl trying to prove herself against the formidable hunter. This is what happened to Prey.
You think that I'm not a hunter like you? And I'm not a threat. That is what makes me dangerous.
Oddly enough, work on Prey began back during the production of The Predator back in 2017. 10 Cloverfield Lane director Dan Trachtenberg had always had an interest in the franchise and set up a meeting with producer John Davis. Trachtenberg had always wanted to work with screenwriter Patrick Azon, as he felt he had a strong understanding of the sci-fi genre, as well as an impeccable knack for period research. Together, they pitched the story of a Native American girl trying to prove herself and crossing paths with the formidable Predator. Dan saw it as his own way of giving someone like Billy from the original his own feature-length film. They narrowed in on the Comanche tribe and did intense research regarding their history. They even brought in a Comanche consultant to make sure that they were being as true to the people as possible. They even did a pass on the screenplay. The Comanche were known for their combat on horseback, so it was important to highlight this element. At one point, it was even discussed that they do a Hunt for Red October style language switch, allowing the Comanche language to get a spotlight. Instead, Comanche is used in smaller moments with certain words being highlighted. While in development, Fox had a pretty big change, as Disney bought the company and put many of their developing projects in limbo. Thankfully, Disney recognized the importance of the Predator IP and, despite uncertainty, remained on the production docket. The film went into production under the codename Skulls, with the intention that the involvement of the Predator would not be revealed in any of the marketing. Casting actually got underway in February of 2020 before it was promptly shut down by you-know-what. Talk about waiting a long time to find out if you got the part. It wasn't until November 2020 that there would be a concrete way forward, with Fox announcing Skulls to be a code name for the 5th Predator movie. This promptly canceled Trachtenberg's plan of keeping the hunter a secret, but also got fans excited for another entry. The title Prey was ultimately chosen, as Trachtenberg felt that it was a good parallel to the Predator name. Seeing as how Shane Black's The Predator could still potentially get a sequel, Dan saw it as a way to easily delineate from the main series, while also avoiding having to call it something like Predator Comanche.
Nada was a young woman in the Comanche camp. She is a fighter. She is strong.
Amber Midthunder was cast as Naru and does a phenomenal job in the role. While it was far from her first acting gig, this really put her on the map, and her Sioux heritage made her a natural for the role. They were even able to use her in moments when they thought they need a stunt woman, because Midthunder was able to rock the stunt herself. Then add in the emotional acuity and ability to say so much with just her eyes, and Midthunder is an irreplaceable element of the film. The rest of the cast would be filled out with various Native American actors, with Dakota Beavers being the second most prominent role as Naru's brother Tabe. He really took to the horseback riding and was able to do 99.9% of those stunts. Given the Comanche fighting style, most of the actors had to take part in a rigorous training regimen. For the part of the formidable Predator himself, Dane DeLegro took on the part, and really feels like the physical embodiment of what a Predator should be. He's large, he's intimidating, and every movement that he makes feels violent. Dane also did all the stunts and motion tracking work for the character. The foam latex suit also weighed over 60 pounds. Naru even gives his predator the name Mupitsi, which is a monster in Comanche folklore.
I don't know that this thing can be killed.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
The story of Prey follows Naru, a Comanche woman who is desperate to break from her gender-determined role within the tribe and become a hunter and provider, Unfortunately for her, it coincides with a young predator coming to Earth on a mission to hunt the most dangerous game. Naru must protect herself and her tribe and test her limits against the ultimate hunter. Filming on Prey began in June of 2021 in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. The first scene filmed was actually Naru's practice with the tomahawk. Only one problem: the crew wasn't entirely aware of the logistics, so Amber kept throwing fake tomahawks against the tree, sometimes missing as called for in the script. And when they would hit, they'd quickly bounce off. The reaction from the crew was described by Midthunder as, "Wait, we're in trouble if this is the girl they chose." Thankfully, Midthunder was more than capable and able to show off her skills throughout the production. But it wasn't all rainbows and sunshine, as Midthunder had to throw herself in a muddy pit, which proved to be quite smelly. Not only that, but given how filthy it would make her, they also had to get all the stuff in the mud that's shot from one angle, all in one go. No redos. Thankfully, Midthunder was more than capable and able to show off her skills throughout the rest of the production. Then, unplanned, Trachtenberg asked Midthunder if she could try to get out while the cameras were rolling. And we get that take in the film, as she manages to get herself out of the mud. It made for a messy time, but the results are pretty great. Despite not having reception in the Alberta wilderness, Amber kept her phone on her at all times, hiding it behind rocks or within some of her wardrobe. She did this to keep up with the script rewrites, as she had the script on her phone, and also to take photos constantly during the production. Initially, we were meant to see hints of the predator much earlier in the story, with his camoed silhouette showing as the hunters are out looking for the lion. But this was cut after they decided that the predator shouldn't be that near them so early. So while the scenes remain, the predator's presence does not. Another important character in the film is Sari, Naru's dog and faithful companion. Sari is actually the Comanche word for dog, which I'm probably butchering, and two different canines played the part. Coco played the dog for all scenes except the one where he's running, and that's Tofu, who does the running part with the CGI deer. Oddly enough, CGI actually came into play in places that you wouldn't expect. Obviously, the lion and the bear are complete CGI recreations. They even had a guy on all fours pretending to be the giant cat, which just makes this scene and the acting in it all the more impressive. While the predator face that we see in the film has a CGI overlay, we still get to see plenty of the wonderful practical effects work. It was a fantastic design by Predator and Alien regulars Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr. It harkens back to the original look while making him considerably more alien and less armored. They also made the animals that we see in the film that aren't real. Another bit of odd CGI is a scene where Naru leaves the river after the predator battles with the bear. It's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but those arms are actually CGI, as Midthunder was wearing a wetsuit due to the extremely cold temperatures of the water. We also see a bit of an old school version of some classic Predator weapons. His laser cannon is now just laser guided bolts, which still certainly leave an impact. The END, aka the explosive net device, looks pretty similar to the ones that we've seen in the past. But the coolest addition is his shield, which expands out from his wrist and works both as protection and a weapon. His wrist gauntlet gets a bit of an old school makeover, with the technology on it being dialed back considerably. It doesn't quite go nuclear in this one. And we get so many awesome scenes with the Predator that it's easy to lose track. Its initial arrival, its encounter with the wolf and the bear, not to mention the smoky decimation of all the French fur traders. We get some all-time Predator moments here. When it came to the look of Prey, cinematographer Jeff Cutter took a naturalistic approach, using natural lighting when at all possible. The film was shot in anamorphic widescreen, and he really wanted to take advantage of the lush natural landscapes. And given the Calgary filming location, they were able to take advantage of the very long summer days, with even the magic hour doubling. After so much city living for old Preds, it's nice to see him back in a forest, and actually be able to see what's happening. For the Predator vision sequences, rather than filming normally then altering it in post, they were actually filmed using a thermographic camera on top of a regular one. Dan Trachtenberg is a big gamer and was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla during pre-production and found himself in love with the score. So he sought out Sarah Schachner to compose the score for Prey. And it's truly incredible and genre-bending. You can even hear hints of Alan Silvestri's original score done through cello.
Before we continue with our video, here's a reminder to click the Store tab on any of our JoBlo channels and browse our collection of the latest and freshest designs in our merch store. Go get you some.
Prey released in the United States on Hulu on August 5th, 2022. Given that it was a straight-to-streaming release as a result of the pandemic and Disney trying to bolster its Hulu lineup, there is no box office for the film. However, it was the top streaming film during the first week of its release. The movie was loved by critics and fans alike, earning a 94% and 74% on Rotten Tomatoes. The critical consensus was the rare action thriller that spikes adrenaline without skimping on character development. Prey is a Predator prequel done right. Despite its streaming release, we did get a gorgeous 4K disc for the film. It features wonderful behind-the-scenes featurettes, as well as a very informative commentary track. It also featured an audio track entirely in Comanche, recorded by the original cast. It's highly recommended for any fans of the film. And given the success, most people assuredly expected another movie in the franchise. The sequel was even hinted at in the film's credit sequence, which summarizes the narrative, ending with 3 Predator ships descending onto Earth. And while we still haven't had it confirmed that Naru will in fact return, we're actually getting 2 Predator movies in 2025, Predator Badlands, as well as a secret Predator film, both directed by Trachtenberg. While Badlands has Elle Fanning starring, we've yet to hear anything about the other film, except for some rumors. While it's unlikely to be Prey 2, here's hoping we get it eventually, because this setting is deserving of more movies, and Mid-Thunder made for one kick-ass hero, and she joins pretty elite company, and that is what happened to Prey.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.